Welcome to Eddie Caine Radio. I'm your host, Eddie Caine. Today is March the 16th, 2015. I'm from out here in Fort Worth, Texas, where we record this show. I'm very excited, to be honest with you, to can finally get this show on the road. It has been quite some time that we've been planning on having this done, and we can finally get it done. So I'm really excited, and we have a lot of things to share with you. It's been a long time, like I said before. We've had some bumps in the ground, that we had to jump over, some hoops and some barrels, but everything's been A-okay. But luckily, I was able to team up with ECMS Productions, and they helped this dream literally become a reality. So I definitely want to thank them, for their vision and their diligence. So shouts out to you all over at ECMS Productions. I really do appreciate that. And it's really funny how I started this show. The very first show, the episode. You know what I'm saying? This is the introduction. I'm like really, really, really excited. And it's like I said before, it's really funny how the show got started. What I was trying to do was I was trying to find an internet radio show or host that I can speak with so I can promote my upcoming book, Frozen Like Water. And I was looking around for a long time. I mean, for a few weeks. I'm scouring the internet, chat rooms and all, and I had absolutely no luck. I was really frustrated. So what I decided to do was go on other different type of chat rooms and social sites and things of that nature. And what I started doing was asking people, as far as authors and poets, if they've heard of any radio shows or online shows or things like that, where an author or a writer or a poet can have a platform so they can, talk about their work. And everybody was like, no, I've never heard of anything like that. So then, for some reason, my ex-wife, her voice popped in my head. She always tell me, she's like, Eddie, you know entirely too many people to not be successful. I'm like, wow. So that's when this thought had popped in my head. I'm like, she's right. You're absolutely right, So what I started to do when I was on these chat rooms and all, I started to ask authors and poets, if they were offered an opportunity to showcase their talent and promote their work, would they be interested? Obviously I received 100% astounding yes. So I was sitting back, and that's when I decided that I was going to create this show because I wanted to provide a platform, but not only for poets and authors, but to have motivational speakers, inspirational speakers, where we can discuss things such as social economic issues or dysfunction that plagues Black America. This show we're going to be covering health and fitness and array of topics, even Black history, all of these different things that cover Black America, spirituality, everything, anything you can think of. I'm definitely going to try and make this a platform where this can be heard. This will definitely be a weekly show. And right now, to be honest with you, I'm not even sure if I'm going live right now, if this is even a private chat. But each show, I definitely want to have a commonality with the show where everybody can understand, know what's going on. And every show, I just want you to know, I'm going to have a guest poet. That is never going to change. There's always going to be a different poet. And the problem that I was having for a while, I was trying to figure out how and who would I get to be the first guest on the show. And so I was torn, because I know quite a few people. I know quite a few talented people. And so I said, look, as far as the first poet, hey, I do a little poetry. I do a little spoken word. So let me get up there and let me do something, see if I can entertain the globe, because this is a global show. So, and that's one thing, I definitely want to give a shout out to my family out there in New Orleans. That's where I'm from, the Big Easy, 504. What's up? My family in New York. people I know in Puerto Rico and Guam, Australia, England, London, over in Egypt, Morocco. I mean, this is broadcasted globally, and that is the great thing about this because of the opportunity that it provides. It allows us to connect. And I have a habit of rambling on and on. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and do this first poem for you. Get you all warmed up so that way give you an idea as far as what the show is going to be consistent of.
The only person I fear is the Creator who resides in me. Physically appearing to be the person that you see. R.I.P. for the spiritual being. That means rejoicing in purity. You see, it's my duty as a messenger to let freedom ring from my mouthpiece to wet spots on bed sheets. Strength for the weak, Mother Earth for the meek, the throne for the ones who had to sit in the back seats. The pride that you have because your hair is kinky. Ignore the stare. Their eyes keep watering from the reflection of the glare, rubbing their retinas because they can't believe God is right here. A seed descended from the brown tree, hieroglyphics in which I speak, efficient and magnificent. The mighty oak is dropping rotten fruit because we killing it. So many people breathing, wheezing, the pollution from the ozone depleting. Elders and babies are dying of excessive heat. Shackles on my feet, and they call it stealing. When you take to eat. Look at all the things stacked against me. Mere child's play. I defy gravity, levitating when I meditate. I'm the moon over the horizon, letting you know it's not too late. The messengers fall, they're burning up the block, painting. Remember the name, his reign is come. Many titles of this ghetto disciple. One is Eddie Caine. You see, I'm bringing joyous news to educated fools, fulfilling the prophecy from Christians to Hebrews, Mormons to Hindu, from Rastafarians to voodoo. Who would have knew? I was conceived in darkness, born from light like good penetrating evil. 100% truth. You see, the Trinity's looking kind of shaky. It's time to regroup. So I'm gathering my lost sheeps from trash heaps, cleansing minds like bodies before sleep. You see, this will never cease. Even after they bury me, God is risen and they thought I was deceased. Being resurrected by the movement of my children's feet. You see, hell is bewilderment mentally. Heaven is happiness spiritually. You're looking at God in the flesh and can't believe who you see. Teasing me, fearing me, mocking me like Pac, Jesus, and Marley. Denied me 3 times, then you realized it was me. You are all forgiven, my children. You've already crucified me.
Think about it like this, okay? Look at the situations what's going on right now in America, especially pertaining to black people. Look at how we're living. Look at how we're dying. You know, we have things, hypertension, diabetes. You know, we have depression. We have so much stuff going on. We have dysfunctional families. We have broken homes. And all of this is because we have lack of knowledge. We don't know who we are. We don't know where we came from. You know, most people literally, honestly think that their history started with slavery. And it is sad. But it's not their fault. It's no one's fault. It's what's been taught to us. But we don't pay attention to that. You know, we've been told our entire lives, as far as black people are concerned, you ain't nothing. You won't never be nothing because you never came from nothing. So think about it like this. You tell a child this his entire time growing up, and you calling this little child the N-word or calling her a B and all of these different things, you're breaking down their self-esteem so they can never see themselves in a higher light. And so eventually they begin to become what you tell them they are. Now, think about it like this, okay? We all know history started in antiquity. That's what they like to call it, antiquity. But all of the history and everything, it's from Africa. I don't care if you want to talk about religion, spirituality, mathematics, astronomy, science, alchemy, chemistry, anything. All of this comes from Africa. And if you knew you were descendant from pharaohs, which are kings and queens, okay? If you knew you were descendant from a pharaoh, a descendant from a king, and you've been brought up as a little kid your entire life, you've been told, hey, you know you have royalty in your blood, right? You know you're not that little N-word You are a prince. You're not a hoe. You are a princess. You're building that self-esteem, and you're letting them know where they came from. So if you knew that you were descendant of royalty, there is no way in the world, if you came from kings and queens, you would act like a court jester. There's no way in the world that you would be walking around with your pants falling off your bottom. There's no way in the world you would be calling yourself the N-word, or calling your friends the N-word, or calling yourself, I'm a real, you know what I'm saying, a real N. When is that? I mean, that's stupid. It makes no sense. You know, and all of who we are and where we came from. And we only believe what the oppressors have taught us. And that's not the case, because you have to think about it like this, all right? If I want you to behave and act a certain way, do you really think that I'm going to really tell you where you came from? Do you think that I'm going to tell you about your greatness? That your people were the first people on this planet? Do you think that I'm going to tell you that? Do you think that I'm going to tell you about the melanin that you have in your body that makes you unique to be the black person that you are? Because no other group of people on this planet are like the black man and woman. I'm not going to tell you about your pineal gland that you have and your third eye. But see, these are all the different things that we have. About the best way to beat your enemy is to study him. Our oppressors have been studying us for thousands of years. They know who we are. They know about our greatness. They honestly love us so much that they take our history, our religion, our spirituality, and they whitewash it, literally. And from there, hey, after, once slavery started, we're going to take away your gods. We're going to take away your languages. We're going to take away your customs. We're going to take away your traditions and your beliefs. And what we're going to do is give you our version of it. We're going to say you need to worship this particular person or worship in this particular manner. The reason why they do this is as far as it's called control. If you think about it, what do pimps and hoes do? You know what I'm saying? A pimp. What does he do? How does he get one of his hoes or his prostitutes or whatever? He gets in her head. He breaks her down. He beats her. He tells her she ain't nothing without him. Kind of sound like slavery, doesn't it? And that's at the point where black people are in America. They feel like they're not nothing without the white man. And I'm not knocking white people or anything like that, because you have good people and bad people in every race. But this is to say that you need to stop trying to fit in where no one wants you. You need to stop trying to act like someone else when that's not really you. And that's why we have the problems that we have right now. You know, we have no identity because we don't know who we are and where we come from. You know, but that's my little rant right there. I don't even want to call it a rant, but that's what I actually want to touch upon concerning that. Now, I do want you to know, if you do want to find out about your history, things of that nature, black diaspora or the African diaspora, I would strongly suggest that you get that documentary called Hidden Colors. It's a 3-part documentary. It is, I don't even want to say it's off the chain, but it is off the chain. It is very informative. I really feel that every black person in America should have these DVDs in their house. And this is how strongly I feel about the DVDs. And I don't mean to promote it like that, but if you get a chance, whenever you get a chance, you have to check out Hidden Colors. You will learn so much about yourself, so much. And it is a beautiful thing. And once you begin to know who you are and what you're capable of, your mindset, it begins to change. You begin to take pride in yourself. You know, you're not sagging your jeans anymore. You're pulling them up. You know, you're not getting drunk every week at the club and things like that. You know, the ladies aren't out there twerking and everything else. Well, twerk, and I think that word is funny because I'm from New Orleans, and that's the place where we invented, but we called it popping back in the day. But anyway, we would have respect for ourselves like this. We would respect our elders. We would respect each other. And that's what this is all about. This show is about, it's a platform. It's going to provide entertainment, culture, as well as informative views on how to achieve and maintain successful, healthy, spiritual lifestyles. And we're going to be discussing pertinent social and economic issues and solutions. And that's the main thing, solutions. Because everybody knows what's going on. Everybody knows how crazy and messed up this world is. Everybody knows how America treats the black man and treats the black woman. They treat a dog better than they treat us. But we think that we're still at a certain place because when we had, quote-unquote, integration, but if you think about it, we gave up everything so that we can be included into what they have. And so we lost it all. And so now it's time to get it back. Now it's time to claim it back. This is us. This is ours. We helped build this country. Stop asking for a handout. Stop asking this man to accept you. It's kind of like it was a post that I put on Facebook one day. It was like, trying to get acceptance from your oppressor is kind of like a nerd trying to be accepted by the in crowd in high school, only to find out later on that those people that was in the in crowd in high school, they wasn't about nothing in the first place, and they wound up working for the nerd. And that's what I'm saying. But, that's neither here nor there. We have weeks, months, and years to discuss so many different things, and it is going to be exciting. I just want you to know about that. Earlier I had mentioned, when we were speaking, I had mentioned the book that I had, Frozen Like Water.
Caine is living the perfect life. He's young, engaged, and happy until he's injured overseas. Suddenly, his world comes to a crashing halt. His fiancée leaves him, and he's medically discharged from the Navy. After a decade of alcoholism, run-ins with the law, womanizing, and failed relationships, Caine seeks the help of a therapist to get to the root of his self-destructive behavior and discovers more than he imagined. The only problem is, he isn't willing to come face to face with his demons. It's Frozen Like Water, The Chronicles of Caine, Volume 1. It is a 3-part book, trilogy. It is great. It's loosely based off the story of my life. Is a tale from tragedy to triumph. It's something that we've all gone through, and a coping mechanism and things that I've done in order to take me and my art and what I do and myself as a person, spiritually, father, businessman, everything on a greater level. But don't forget to check it out. It is Frozen Like Water, The Chronicles of Caine, Volume 1. Also, there is a soundtrack that is available with the book as well, called Frozen Like Water. Yes, I said a soundtrack. Now, what I mean by soundtrack is the novel is infused with poetry, and there are a lot of people out there that loves poetry and spoken word. So what I decided to do was take the poems and go ahead and record them for your listening pleasure. Once again, be on the lookout. It's coming out this May. Frozen Like Water, Chronicles of Caine, Volume 1, as well as the CD. I would like to also thank Right On Press for helping me out with that. I linked up with them and we co-published the work, But we'll see you then.
In 2003, I released my first EP called Death of a Poet. After that, I followed up with a few other CDs and mixed CDs, collaborations, one-man shows, little guest appearances in movies here and there, and really I haven't looked back since. I've been in quite a few poetry anthologies, and I opened up for some numerous artists in the United States and the Caribbean. So I'm thankful. I'm very thankful for the life that I've lived. But more than that, I'm thankful for Right On Press for helping me with this project. As far as the book is concerned, Right On Press, they really helped me out with the editing and publishing services. And I want to thank Sewell Publishing for what they've done as well. because you definitely help. And this is about leaving a legacy for your children. You know, leaving the world in a better condition that was left for you. You know what I'm saying? But in the end, what I want to talk to you all about also today, March 16th, 2015, as far as today's in Black History news. In 1827, the first black newspaper was printed. It's called the Freedom's Journal, and that was published in New York City. So that is awesome. That is. But also March. I'm not sure if you all know, as far as March is concerned. March is Colon Cancer Awareness Month. It's also Women's History Month. I love women. I mean, if it wasn't for women, we wouldn't be here. So you got to love women. So we definitely have to be talking about that. And I will be covering so many different things this month. I'm trying to make it concise, but there's just so much information that I want to just share with everyone. And speaking of women, you're going to be hearing a lot of strong women on the show. I mean, entrepreneurs that let us know that it can actually be done. We can do it. Definitely do it. What I need to do right now is take a sip of water. My throat is dry. I don't know why I didn't get this water, but it's okay. And what I'm going to do is share another poem with you.
I spark imagination like good. Ashes, knees, Wednesday, dead men walk, and holy souls get the mark of the beast. Doomsday when beauty no longer sleeps and peace ceases, being a state of tranquility. Blessed be the sheep who reside in Sin City, bathing in humidity, surrounded by corruption, chaos, and hooded sheets. I deem the all meek, so inherit the breathing technique which gave birth to me and to earth. Life from my lips pinned to verse. Only the strong heal, the weak remain heard. To law of nature reported behind hearses, a celebration of ancient African rituals. You see, I'm gathering letters and I'm formulating words and I'm writing passages, revealing the truth past ages. You see, matter which is flesh is neither destroyed or created. It only changes shape like relationships that sink, and there's only one life jacket and you have no time to think. I'm telling you, go with the flow. God is never around calamity. Misery that's Satan's domain. Collapse vein, torn walls injected into the vulva again. Vulgarity gains strength. You got cluckers, trained conductors, plagued with babies, but little do they know it's to wash away their sins. Evil always wins when you don't repent. You don't need a preacher, just self-profess to the congregation within. This is a native tongue Indian village. Barbaric ways are often remembered, so I rape minds, destroy cloudy dreams, fertilize and cultivate clearer visions. Multiple personality disorder, I've already been convicted, labeled insane. Most live in mental prisons. I'm stuck insanity. You gotta feel me, don't just listen like Crisco and fried chicken. I'm still painting perfect pictures for the thoughts engine. So you gotta move on up, but not to the east side. You gotta move past Mount Olympus, past the fate of devoted Christians. I mean, you gotta move past the sands of Egypt and the hieroglyphics. You gotta move past the Jurassic stage and where life was bacteria. I mean, you gotta move to a point where you know evolution is revolution, which means you ain't doing nothing but repeating movement. So you gotta move to a point where movement is non-existent. I'm talking about the beginning. You see, I spark imagination like good. You've all just been transcended. Peace.
Once again, I mean, this time is going by so quickly. And thank you for tuning in to the first broadcast. But remember, when things get fast, just step back and breathe. I want to thank you for listening to Eddie Caine Radio. I'm your host, Eddie Caine. This is the ECMS Productions. Take it light.